Welcome back to another countdown session to World Conference. It's crazy. It's just around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, the Market America World Conference for 2022 will be happening on February 24th to 26th, and it is going to be a fully virtual online event and one of the best experiences that we're going to have as a company at an event. I know nothing beats in person, but this one, really can really come close. And I want to encourage everybody to make sure we do what we can to get our teams there. But don't take that from me. I'm joined today by some very special unfranchised owners and amazing friends that I've gotten to make in the business, in the company, and they are our pride and joy up here in Canada. Folks, we have on here tonight that you're gonna learn from, and that I have the pleasure of speaking with, from a brand new master coordinator. Not brand new, but recently hit master coordinator. She's got a great team growing, and I just love the tenacity that she and her team firecrackers bring. Folks, we have Jessica Turner joining us. Nice to see you, Jess.
Hi, Andrew. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, always great to be able to spend time with you guys. And also we have, on the other end, we've got a solid as a rock leader, a professional coordinator, leading a team with a great systemized approach, utilizing step one, step two, and repeat process. Jennifer Chan also leading the way for us up here in Canada. Jennifer, thank you for joining us tonight. All right. Hey, let's start off real quick. This is going to be a fast, fun session, but we really want to learn from you how, a little bit about how you got introduced to the business, and ultimately, what attracted you to it. So let's start with Jessica first, and then Jennifer, same question. So Jessica, tell us how you were introduced to the unfranchised business, and when you saw the plan, what was it that attracted you?
So I was introduced to the business kind of off the cuff. I had a girlfriend of mine. I had been watching her change and get really excited, and I couldn't figure out what she was doing that was making her so happy all of a sudden. And so I asked her about it, and she told me, she said, I found a business that's paying me to shop. And those were the magic words for me. So of course I was interested. I definitely wanted to check it out. And so I went, looking to see the business plan and take a look at it. For me, really, the big key was, she said, you can do this part-time. And so I have a busy corporate job. I sell advertising for a media company. I have a son. And so part-time was the most I had to give to something. But I was definitely looking for something, just it needed to have flexibility. So that was a really big part of it. And of course, the other part is that I was already shopping a lot. So it was a nice benefit.
Got it. So, the part-time aspect of it, made a lot of sense. What were you doing professionally? Like your background, you said you're selling advertising. So a lot in the sales and advertising role, right? I know you're a sales director for one of the largest companies we have up here in Canada. Yeah.
Yes.
So from that position, you saw that there were several benefits to what we were doing as a company, right?
Absolutely. It's interesting because a lot of the stores that we have as partners, you used to spend a lot of money in mass advertising, mass marketing, trying to reach, Jennifer and I always use the Gap as an example. Gap was spending millions of dollars in advertising, hoping that Jennifer and I would go into their store.
Right.
And once they started working with companies like shop.com, where they only pay when someone chooses to shop at the store, I watched advertising budgets shift like overnight. It just started happening really, really quickly. So when I saw this business, it completely connected the dots for me. And I realized I wanted to be on the train that was moving forward.
Right. Oh, great point. Thanks for mentioning that. Now, Jennifer, let's go to you for a bit. Tell us about how you were introduced to the unfranchised business, and what was it that attracted you when you saw the business plan?
Well, I saw it about 6 years ago, and I saw it by accident. And what I mean by that was that I'm very busy. I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I run a busy accounting practice. I wear multiple hats, as most people do. And I really wasn't looking for anything, but somebody was trying to tell me about what I thought was a discount site, a site that I heard had a lot of partner stores like Lowe's and the Bay, and they were giving discounts, or that's what I thought it was. And I wondered, well, what's that site? Because I don't know about it, and who doesn't want a deal? And I was just thinking about the fact that I just bought a $1,300 shed from Lowe's and I didn't get any discount. So what was this site? And I was told there was a business behind it. Do I still want to see it? And I said, yeah, I want to know what this site is. So, to my surprise, I allowed them to come to show me. I thought it was just going to be 2 people, ended up being 5 or 6 people, I forget now, coming into my living room. And I thought, oh, did they think there was going to be a lot of people here because it's just my husband and myself? And so they went on to show me the business plan, and I honestly was floored, because I cared about the small savings that I could get, but I cared more about the money that could be made from this. And when 2 of the individuals I remember very well, one was earning and they had reached that point in a short period of time. Both of them in my living room at one time. I thought they couldn't all be lying to me at the same time acting. Right. And coincidentally, as the accountant in the family, I was very, very aware of how much money I was spending every month to support my family and just to take care of necessities. And I was shocked to see the thousands of dollars I was spending every month. So when I was asked how much of those thousands of dollars would I run through the Market America system if I could be paid on every dollar, I said as much as possible. So it didn't really take me long because it made sense to me. And it was the first time I had ever seen something that was teaching people how to take an expense, money that you spend that you don't get back. And I sometimes say it's flushed down the toilet because you can't spend it twice, and basically recycle it. Recycle it because it brings money back into your bank account and you can spend it again. And so I thought, for the first half of my adult life, I was spending money making all the second half of my life. I can turn the tables around and have them make me rich. That would be too bad, right? And that was my thought. And I always look at creative ways of making money. And this was something that wouldn't take away from anything that I was already doing. It wouldn't ask me to quit my business, wouldn't ask me to stop any of my other income streams. It was purely something I could do. And the funny thing is that I was not an online shopper, and I didn't care to be one. I had children who were avid online shoppers and packages coming to my door every day. I was the one who said, I don't know how you guys can shop online. What if the shoes don't fit? I was the one saying that. What if you want to return something? And they just give me the look like, Mom, times have changed, and so I still couldn't care for it. I was the one who didn't want my credit card compromised. I wasn't going to do it. I only did it here and there because I was forced to. Places like Home Depot, they didn't carry the goods in the stores anymore. But if you went online, they actually say on the shelf, for more selection, go online. I said, they forced me to go online. Sure enough, there's pages and pages and pages selection there. And that's the only times that I did buy something. So right. I went from not caring to be an online shopper to give me this online mall. I want to use it to create an income. That made sense to me. And I knew that even though I was never the one on the forefront to move with the times and go with the flow. I had to admit that even though I wasn't an online shopper, that's where everything was going. And because I admitted that, I knew it was a matter of time before I was forced to go that route. So why not, for the first time, jump on the wagon early and move with the trend and have everybody else follow?
Right. That makes perfect sense. I always love our conversations, like when we get to talk on and off screen. The 2 years are really sensible, logical people, and hard to get. You don't get excited just over just anything. Now, you talked about what made sense to you to, how you were introduced to the business and what attracted you to it. Now, tell me a little bit about why you're two also very strong on getting people to evaluate the business. So tell me a little bit about why you feel so strongly about recommending that everyone evaluates the unfranchised business. Let's go back to you, Jess. Like, why do you feel strongly about that?
And so, but you have to figure out which is the right fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you should evaluate any opportunity that's presented to you, because you don't know if it's a fit for you until you've properly evaluated it.
Right.
And that's, to me, one of the most beautiful parts of this business is that's the encouragement, is they don't want you to make a decision until you've seen it and understand it enough to have made a proper evaluation.
Right.
So, I joke and say, there's lots of people that don't want to sell advertising. I don't get offended by that. But if I was hiring, I would be looking for someone who's qualified and is going to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with my own business, probably more so because it's my business. So I want people to evaluate it because I'm also making sure that they really understand it, so that if they decide it's a fit, we're on the same page. And I think that's a really important part. It's not just for them, it's also for us to help evaluate the person as they're learning.
Right. Great point. And Jennifer, how about you?
You know what, I look at it as, I look at it very differently. When I talk to people and we talk about online shopping, we all admit that Amazon is the biggest online retailer in the world. And the reason why is because millions of people around the world are clicking and ordering at Amazon. And every time they click an order, I ask the people, how much money goes into your bank account when you buy something from Amazon? And they all tell me the same thing, nothing, right? And so I said, that's a good point. And if we know that clicking and ordering is going to be happening more and more, and if you continue and we continue to buy more and more from Amazon, are we going to get more and more into our bank account, or are we still going to get zero? And they admit the answer is zero. So I say, how many people do you think, if they knew that they could click an order and have money go into their bank account instead of Amazon's bank account or anybody else's bank account,
Mm-hmm.
that they would say, I like that better, right? Because I was one of those people, but I just didn't know this existed. I didn't know it was possible, right? And when I discovered that that could be possible, of course, I would choose something that would be for the people, right? And putting money into our bank account, into somebody else's bank account, especially since that spending money is coming from me to begin with.
Right.
Plus the fact that if you think about how many people drink coffee and tea, how many people brush their teeth, how many people take a shower, how many people wash their hair, how many people need to eat, these are what I call necessary spendings, right? And they are things that people have to spend money on. And I was spending that money. And when I say I spent thousands of dollars every month, it was those kinds of spendings, because I was not a frivolous spender. So basically it comes down to all the activities that people are doing every single day. You can now attach a dollar sign after it, because this business allows us to do that. So who does it apply to? I don't know who it doesn't apply to, really, right? Who wouldn't we want to give that opportunity to say, if money could go into your bank account every time people clicked an order, would you like that? Would you want that? And that's why I think that everybody should know, because if not themselves, they must know somebody who would want that.
Right. I love that. Like, the timing could not be right. And but at the very least, everyone should evaluate the business and the company and what we're doing, and the forefronts that we're exploring. Now, what comes to mind is one of the best way I feel for a new person or even a brand new unfranchised owner to continue to learn and evaluate the company is by attending one of the major events, either online or in person. Now, I know that both of you are huge on leveraging these major events. But tell me about. We'll start with you first, Jennifer. Tell us about your experience attending your first major event, and how has it impacted the growth of your business?
Well, I tell you that when I started a business, I was not looking to add anything to my plate. My plate was full. I wasn't looking, but this was an opportunity that I couldn't say no to. So because I said yes, yes means that I was going to be successful in it. This was not something that was going to waste my time and take up my time. So because I wanted to be serious, I knew that I needed to do what the successful people did in this business. And so my senior partners told me about the two conventions a year that we have. And so I knew right away I would be attending them. And I was very excited to attend them because I wanted to see all the people who were equally excited about this opportunity as I was, because I hadn't met any of them. So it's quite the feeling to be in an arena where there's over 20,000 people there who not only love this business, but the entire floor of it. It's a feeling that it instills belief in you, right? So that's what people need when they build this business, because they hope it's true. But when you see that many people with that much success, it's hard not to believe. And not to mention being able to see JR and Lauren in person. And it's no matter how great people are in their teachings, and we're wonderful trainers, nothing can ever compare to listening to JR and Lauren, because they're the ones who gave birth to this, right? And when they speak, it's just different. And we come into the business hoping to get something out of it, but we won't get anything out of it until the business actually comes into us. And that's what convention brings to us, not to mention the time that we spend with our team, and picking up, doing the fun things, picking up our MA gear and our shopping annuity shirts and things like that, and going to eat together. I remember, using restaurant.com cards to run our spendings on our trip through the business as well.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you listen to what every successful person says, they said that we must attend a convention. And so if every successful person, one after another, says the same thing, you must attend a convention, and attending convention and tracking how much of your team goes to convention is a measurement of the growth in your business, I thought, well, I better start tracking. And I remember my senior partner, Jimmy Wu, asking me, what are your numbers? And I said, what numbers? Your ticket numbers. And I said, well, what are my ticket numbers? And he said, how many people are going to convention? Oh, those numbers, right? And he said, you need to track it, because that's going to show you how you're going to grow from convention to convention every 6 months. It's a measurement of your growth. So I started tracking. I gave him my numbers. I started to give him my numbers, and I started to see it grow, from one to almost a busload. And it's so fun to be able to just watch your team get that business instilled in them too, by attending and all having fun together. Not to mention, it's in Miami in February when we don't want to be here in the cold snow. It's a great time to travel. And August is also a time that we all already take vacations in. So I knew that it would be easy to tack it on to our family vacations, and that's what we do. It's our family vacation, and we attend convention at the same time.
Right. That makes perfect sense. Florida is a great place to be in February, for us in Canada. But this time, the conference, the World Conference being online is going to be just as powerful, and we may not be there physically in person, but it gives you what's important is that it gives us the feeling that we're around like-minded people, and we get to leverage the events, and everyone's learning from the same source. Thanks for mentioning that, Jennifer. Now, Jessica, how about you? What was your experience attending your first major event? And how I feel like you've never missed an event since then. How have attending and continuing to attend these major events affected and impacted the growth of your business?
So my first event was a world convention conference, and you're right, I haven't missed one since, because just like Jennifer, I follow the people that are doing well in this business. It is a proven system with not a few people successful, but a lot of successful people, and they all do the same things. And specifically, they all go to the events. So that was my reason to go to the first one, even though I honestly thought like 3 days of training, like this is going to be kind of I was tired afterwards because my brain was so like, there was so much information, so much motivation. I found my two partners within 2 weeks of getting back from my first convention. I was fired up. And to your point, Jen, it was Lauren's chat that sealed it for me, because she said the most profound thing, and no, she said it since, but she said, you're exactly where you believe you should be. So if you want to change that, then you need to change. And I came home and I said, I need to be different. I don't want to be status quo anymore. I need to be different. And so that was really the first big step for me. But because I got so much from it, it really instilled the importance of it. And I'll be honest, I mean, I'm pretty direct with my team. I'm busy. I'm very busy. So if you don't come with me, then you're going to be behind. And it's not fair to ask me or other people from the team to come back and try to show you, let you know what you missed. This is about leverage. So, you know, I was there the first year with my leaders. Then I came the next one with some of my team, and so on and so on. It keeps growing and growing. Imagine, Jennifer said, you've got a busload of people. If that many people didn't attend, but they still want to try to build the business, it creates more work for everybody. So the whole point is that leverage, to leverage the training, and the training you get in 3 days, that belief that injects you into the next 6 months, that's 6 months worth of training in 3 days. Like, so even, I mean, I've had non-business partners attend the training because it's such a phenomenal training, and it's so motivating, and it really helps put your brain in the right perspective, and not the same perspective. The three of us will get something different from the same convention, which I think is amazing. So I'm pretty big on, it's part of joining the business. If you want to join the business and you want to build it, attending the events is part of it, because that's the culture that we have built.
Right.
So that's why I try to be pretty adamant about that being important. I realize life things happen, but I've also watched Elizabeth Weber having life things happen, still show up at convention on the last day because she wasn't going to miss it. So, you know, to me, I'm following examples, so I try to lead by the same example.
Right, great point. So, you know, for this upcoming World Conference, Jessica, how are you and your team planning to attend this virtual online conference? Are you guys, you know, all watching online? Are you organizing watch parties? How are you guys facilitating it?
So we were holding on for a really long time in case we got to go. We were really holding on in case that happened, because we have partners from across Canada, but we also have partners in the States. I have partners I haven't physically met yet. Mm-hmm. And so we were really looking forward to getting together. So we're going to do some watch parties, and some of the people from across the country and in other countries are, if they can, are going to travel to us, and we're going to do a series of watch parties. So we've done them before, so much fun. And we usually try to move around, you know, houses so everybody can sort of take turns, but it's just so much fun. And you get your commemorative kit. So everybody's got the gear and our t-shirts, to Jennifer's point, our t-shirts and all of that stuff. And now it becomes a bit of a competition, right? Because there's all the Canadian flags on the screen because we're all there. So we're like, there's Jen, there's Barry. So yeah, to us, it's definitely, I don't think I could watch it by myself, even if I had to. I think I would find it weird. I need to be with my team. And I think it's such a strong connection. I don't know about you two, but I find by the end, people are starting to like almost have a hard time stay focused because they're ready to go. They're ready to hit the ground running. They start adding more names. They're ready to talk to people. So to me, it just lights the right fire if you do it together.
Right. Okay, yep. Great. Jennifer, how about you? How are you guys organizing this? Like, are you planning to do any watch parties, or are most people, you know, watching online, taking advantage of the replays? What's your protocol?
You know what? I encourage everyone to actually take the days off. Right? Pretend that it is an away convention where you would have had to take the day off and travel to it. It's different when you dedicate the time and you make it important and you say, I'm going to make this me time or my business time, right? The other days of the year, you can work to make your employer money. But these 3 days, should be yours, right? With undivided attention. So I really strongly encourage people to be part of a watch group. I mean, of course, if our local restrictions permit, right? And whatever the size that we're allowed to max out those sizes. And I do the same as Jessica. I will try, if there's 3 different ones going on 3 different days, I will try to attend 3 different ones so that we can spend the time and really trying to get that atmosphere that we used to get from physically going to convention. There's nothing like being with people. We all miss seeing people and having that human interaction, and being able to eat together, snack together, you know, and watch convention together. There's nothing like it. It kind of reminds us like when we were sitting in the arena in our teams. Right. And except that we're doing it in the homes. So it's really, it's the most fun way to do it.
Right. I know you always got consistently have, you know, different parties, especially you can see some of the basements are done up real nice. You guys go all out with those. So Canadian flags.
We're trying to compete for some screen time, right, Jessica?
That's right. That's right.
And
everyone's going to be watching for us at what you watch. You'll see us on the screens in February.
And
it is cool that we get to see each other on the screen, you know. I find that really cool. It really helps us to feel that we're all part of it because we see each other on the screens.
Right, exactly.
I was going to say too, Andrew, that's a really interesting, that's a really good point, Jen, because all of us in our own lives have people that may or may not get what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we're together, we're just engulfed in this support of people who get it and understand it and think it's awesome too, and want you to be successful. And so I miss that energy too. So even the watch party, that refuels that part of our business as well, I think.
Right. Love it. Yeah. And for anybody that's unable to participate or you join a physical watch party, we'll be looking out for each other. If, you know, we get featured on the virtual audience wall, I'll be texting, you know, my partners saying, hey, you're looking good today and all that. It's great. Like, it's like we're talking more often than usual especially during conference time. So, you know, we're staying connected, and I encourage everybody to stay connected with your teams through our conference. You know, create group chats, make sure that people are posting things or mentioning things that they that they take away from each segment. So it's important and great to keep that connection. All right, last question to you guys. I know we're almost out of time, but it's been such a blast, like, you know, spending this time with you, and we are 5 weeks away from World Conference. You know, while you're making the arrangements, and well, we know a lot of people are making arrangements to attend the event, or we may even have some people on this call or on this webinar deciding whether or not they want to attend the event or not. What's some advice that you can give to unfranchised owners or people evaluating the business? We'll start with you, Jessica, and then we'll wrap up with Jen.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think if you're evaluating it, the event will lock it in for you. It will help you decide 100% either way. I've actually never met anybody that attended the event and decided 100% the other way. They all sort of reinforced how amazing it is. I will also say, I started this right after the 25th anniversary event, and all I heard was how amazing it was. So the fact that this is the 30th anniversary, if ever there was an event to jump and check it out, this is it, because the company is going to pull out all the stops. There's going to be people showing up on screen, speakers that we have, new product launches. It's just going to be such an immersive few days with so much information that I mean, it's going to be entertaining. So, you know, the training, the team building, all of that, of course, you don't want to miss what everyone's going to be experiencing for those 3 days, because it's just going to be off the charts. Market America doesn't do anything small.
Right. Got it. Thanks for that, Jess. How about you, Jen? What is some advice that you can give to unfranchised owners or you know, potential people that are evaluating the business?
You know what, the way that I see it is, JR and Lauren created this opportunity for me, or for us. You know, they pour their heart and soul into this business so that you and I can, convention is JR and Lauren's MA family reunion. It's their Market America family reunion. It's the time that they call us together to be together in one place. And this is the time that we can show them our gratitude and show them that their hard work didn't go wasted, and that these are all the people who have enjoyed the fruits of their labor, right? And that's how we can thank them, by showing up to family reunions. So having convention is us receiving an invitation to that family reunion. I would never be able to let them down. And I encourage everyone to go and show up and show them their gratitude.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Jessica and Jennifer. You guys have been phenomenal, and it's always a pleasure to chat with you. Folks, we are signing off. We're 5 weeks away from Market America's 2022 World Conference. Make sure to speak to the person that invited you on if you are evaluating the business, or if you're a non-franchise owner, deciding whether to attend or not. Speak to your teammates and make sure you get your ticket to the World Conference. You won't regret it. All right, everybody, let's the theme for this World Conference is to stay focused and stay the course. We'll just keep at it and stay focused and stay the course. Take care, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.